Okay. Hello, my favorite people. This video is kind of different. It's not necessarily a album reaction, but more so an album review. An hour ago or 2 hours ago, I uploaded my video to the reaction of the Life of a Showgirl by Taylor Swift. And this is an album that, in my opinion, deservingly, has had some, difference of opinions from critics, from listeners, from Taylor Swift fans. Everyone has their own stance and point of view in regards to the album. And me being a music reaction channel and, being a lover of music myself, I thought I would do a review video, this one, and let you guys know unbiasedly, very clearly, very plainly, my opinions and interpretations of the album. Again, I want to repreface that this is a channel for music lovers. That's the whole reason I created this channel. So I'm not afraid to give my opinion, and I don't want you to be afraid of voicing your opinion down below in the comments either. I open up the space to be perfectly safe for everyone to voice their opinion without bullying or harassment or fear of getting shut down or whatever. So feel free to chime in if you agree or disagree with anything I say in this video. I have created a little list of all of the key points that I want to talk about and things that I noticed and really stuck with me from my reaction and first listen of the album. First off, let's start with the positive. I think that I'm happy that it seems Taylor does not have as much pressure when it comes to creating music. I'm glad that she now has positive places to draw from and write from and be inspired by rather than what we're used to, and that's her with Heartbreak. I'm glad that she's found a love that clearly is healthy and safe and she is happy to be in. Because again, all we've known from Taylor Swift, and I feel like it's been synonymous with her name, is heartbreak and breakups and, this boyfriend and that boyfriend. Even if that's not necessarily the case, that's what it's been shown or perceived to be. So the fact that she has someone like Travis Kelce, of course, my fave is in love and happy. Why wouldn't I be happy for her? Of course I'm happy for her, and I'm happy that she is in a good place. So it's good that she has a positive inspiration, I guess you could say. That is something that is very clear in the writing and the production of these songs. What's really cool, though, in my opinion, is that even with all that happiness and positivity and love, there were still moments in the production and the instrumentals that I was like, oh, this song is going to be depression. I was even like, oh, in this song, for example, we're about to be taken back to depression times, or we're going to need therapy. First song off the album, Ophelia, I was like, oh, how are you able to take a sonnet or a Shakespearean breakup story and turn it into this beautiful thing? She said, I am not Ophelia. She took the story of Ophelia and said how her situation is the complete antonym to what Ophelia had to deal with. And I feel like that just, again, goes straight to her writing. A lot of the reaction, I was saying the writing did not feel very Quill-like we're used to seeing Taylor. Hell, she fucking wrote the Tortured Poets Department. She wrote Folklore. And I just felt like a lot of the songs in the writing were, on the surface level, I guess, a bit more elementary, but the nuances and metaphors and everything were hidden in the messages. You just had to look deeper, in my opinion, for those for the songs. Anyway, going on to the next point, I said that this was a concept album that I don't think matched the marketing, and I'm gonna stick with that. Whenever I think of Showgirl, I think of glitz and glam, and in your face and fun and pop. And even though on the podcast she said that it's not gonna be that, it's actually gonna be, this album is about what happens behind the scenes of her being the showgirl, I still feel like the message did not match the marketing. From the photo shoots to the outfits, we saw her tittied up, hip up, booty out on the Instagram. And of course that's what she marketed the album as, because that's what people are going to pay attention to. That's what they're going to see. Because she's not just marketing to the Swifties, she's not just marketing to us fans, she's marketing to the masses. So obviously, and as unfortunate as that is, that's going to sell. More than, hey, I'm in love with my fiance and I'm happy. No, let's be honest. Nobody cares. But that's why she had to market it that way. And I feel like I came into the reaction kind of with a disconnect right there off the bat. And so as I'm expecting, in my opinion, what a showgirl, the life of a showgirl is going to be, and I'm getting something that does not kind of match that image in my brain, that's where it became hard for me to like digest the album and really understand and see where she's coming from. So that's just my first point. I feel like there was a disconnect in the marketing of the album. Now let's talk about the production, the writing, the aura. It all kind of still ties into that, but specifically the production. Now, in my opinion, I feel like the way that this album was produced, it gave me more so 1989 TV version when she's on the beach out in Cape Cod frolicking. That's what the message of this album kind of reminds me of, not the life of a showgirl. And then we get deeper into the production of it. It just felt very Max Martin. This project, I don't know. It felt very lazy to me. It felt very like rushed. There weren't any smooth transitions from like the bridges to the endings of the album. Everything felt very just direct and like, okay, on to the next thing, on to the next thing. This was this, on to the next thing. It didn't feel like it flowed or like there was soul in any of the songs. I don't know. You let me know if you had that same feeling, but in my opinion, the production felt soulless. Yeah. Part 2. Again, I said I'm happy that she's in number 3, happy that she's in a relationship. And even though this album was very Travis focused, like that is the biggest part of her life right now. She just got engaged. Again, we're thinking back up. We grew up with Taylor Swift, so we've known the trials and tribulations she's been through. Red. Hello. So of course, now that she has something that's clean and good and positive, she's gonna make a whole album about it. That makes freaking sense. It's Taylor Swift. She's always used her relationships as inspiration, so why wouldn't she do it for this time? I would say that more than half of the album was probably inspired or dedicated to Travis Kelce, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I think you just have to come into the album expecting that, and then it'll be better and easier to digest, in my opinion. So that's not a good thing. That's not a bad thing. It's what it is, in my opinion. The next thing I said was the best song on the album itself was, in my opinion, the last song, The Life of a Showgirl featuring Sabrina Carpenter, just because I felt like the album was getting a bit repetitious because, like I said, that half of the album was dedicated to Travis Kelce. So she was saying the same thing just with different metaphors and different soliloquies and descriptions. His eyes are opalite. He's my football player. He calls me honey, etc., etc., etc. It's all in the same realm of, okay, we are in a good love, a healthy love, a safe love. But I mean, after 2 songs, I mean, you're just repackaging it, but saying the exact same thing. In my opinion, the reason I love Taylor Swift so much is because of her writing, and I feel like that was a bit lackluster in this album. I feel like it was a bit more elementary. But that can also be said to be a good thing, because hello, if you're in a healthy love, it's simple, it's easy, it's straightforward. There's no like nuance. But I guess as with an artist like Taylor Swift, with the discography that she has, I would expect there to be some depth to it, and I feel like this album lacked it for sure. Now that being said, Sabrina Carpenter, she came through at the end there for me and like revived the album. I don't know what it is, but them harmonizing that the message of The Life of a Showgirl, how they wanted this, so they were reaching for this, and they finally got it, and now it's kind of flipped. Like you said, I couldn't handle this. Well, look at me doing it. That is the triumphant and powerful message of Taylor Swift that I have always loved. I feel like a lot of this album was about regression. Like, I just didn't connect with the where she said something about she wants a basketball hoop in the front yard and to line up the neighborhood with Travis's kids. And I was just like, okay. But again, it ties into her being in love, and this is a new chapter for her. So it was just a bit jarring for me as a fan of, many years. I have to like go with the times. She's married, she's happy. That's what this moment is. And that's great. I just was not expecting that for Life of a Showgirl. Because again, I guess I had the disconnect from what she said the message was versus the marketing, if that makes sense. Like, I don't see Burlesque Show and Feathers and think suburbs. The Swifties are coming. The Swifties are coming. Oh! I'm joking. Anyways, this is kind of going to be a controversial take, my next take. The song Canceled. And it's going to be so cheap for people to be like, see, this was the point of the song. You're trying to cancel her. No, not at all. I think the song Canceled is a spineless song. The way I interpreted it, and correct me if you have a different opinion or point of view on the song, to me, Cancelled was just a defense of the indefensible. I believe that it's her attempt to defend the MAGA wags, and it's basically her not taking a side or taking a stance. And I feel like in all aspects, when you don't take a stance, you are taking a stance. So I just think Cancelled, like I said, I think Cancelled is a spineless song. I didn't really care for that one at all. And lastly, with this video, I just want to wrap up and give you guys my idea of what the project would be, which I feel like a lot of people suspected based on the photos and the photo shoots and the marketing. I thought it was going to be pop. I thought it was pop, but I thought it was going to be fun pop. I thought it was going to be like Midnight's reimagined, Midnight's but bigger, Bejeweled but bigger, like synths and orchestras and like, you know, godly and energy, and it's just not what the project was. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. That wasn't Taylor's intention at all. That was my interpretation, and I'm sure some of yours interpretations of the album. But you can see why, I guess, or you can understand why some people might be disappointed with what this album actually is or turned out to be. I don't know. I'm interested to see what the visuals and the music videos are going to be like. Is she going to stay on this theme of glitz and glam, you know, Elizabeth Taylor? I don't know. I wish she would have, like I said before, kept it how she did 1989 Taylor's version. You know, on the beach, or, you know, in the suburbs, or, you know, I don't know, in the woods camping or something. Like something more like earthy or calm. It just does not give burlesque, showgirl, or anything like that. But it's not supposed to. Again, it's not supposed to. It's supposed to be behind the curtain, I guess. Anyway, that's my opinion on The Life of a Showgirl by Taylor Swift. I just wanted to come on here and clarify a few things because some people were saying I wasn't misinterpreting things, but then I felt like some people were misinterpreting my interpretations. So I was like, here, let me just make a video where I run down through everything the opinions that I have as of right now. I am going to do a video ranking the songs from the track list. I don't know if I'm going to put that on YouTube or Patreon, but I do love some certain songs, and I also despise certain songs, Cancelled being one of them. So look forward to that. Sign up for the Patreon, follow the Instagram, and all that stuff, as well as check out my candle company. Y'all. The discourse. I've never had this much discourse when it comes to a Taylor Swift rollout. And y'all know how much I disliked Torture Poets Department, but I'd stream that over this album. Anyway, let me know your opinions down below. Bye.